Did you know that mothers of children with autism experience the stress levels of combat soldiers? Today, I'll be addressing this serious issue and giving some strategies to help reduce stress. Hi, I'm Dr. Mary Barbera, autism mom, board-certified behavior analyst, best-selling author of The Verbal Behavior Approach, and online course creator. Each week, I provide you with some of my ideas about turning autism around. So if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, you can do that now. Several years ago, in 2009, a study was published in the Journal of Autism and Developmental Disorders, which examined the stress levels of 96 mothers of adolescents and adults with autism compared to mothers of children without disabilities. The mothers were interviewed at the end of each day, and saliva samples were taken every 4 days to test their hormone levels. The study found that a hormone that was related to stress was extremely low, consistent with people experiencing chronic stress, such as soldiers in combat. The study also found that mothers of older children and adults with ASD spend significantly more time providing care and doing chores than mothers of typically developing kids, and less time in their own leisure activities. In fact, the autism moms spend at least 2 hours more a day caring for their children than the moms of children who were not disabled. These moms suffered from chronic fatigue and arguments, and they were 3 times as likely to report a stressful event each day and twice as likely as the control group to report being tired. The mothers of the children with autism were interrupted at work 1 out of every 4 days compared to 1 out of every 10 days for parents of non-autistic children. The mothers of children with high levels of behavior problems had the most pronounced profile of chronic stress, and the greater the child's behavior problems were, the worse the mother's stress. Long-term effects on physical health were not studied, but the hormone levels have been associated with chronic health problems and can affect glucose regulation, immune functioning, and mental activity. Another study by Sine and colleagues published in 2006 suggested that stress levels can be reduced by teaching parents how to handle problem behaviors like aggression. And in earlier studies by Hastings and Beck in 2004 noted that when interventions result in children's language acquisition and in the reduction of problem behaviors, parents experience a greater sense of well-being and a reduction in reported stress levels. So what can you do to reduce stress? First of all, I want to say, as an autism mom for 2 decades and as a behavior analyst, but mostly as a mom, that I tell parents that this is a marathon, not a sprint. In fact, it's more of a marathon on a roller coaster, if there could be such a thing. There are definitely ups and downs along the way. I have found that things like meditation could really help reduce stress. I have done the Miracle Morning meditation routine, and that might be something to look into. Also, getting respite and care for your children as much as possible is ideal, because we all need a break and we all need to do some things for ourselves. You can join support groups either locally or online, and this might help just talking to people who understand. It's important to spend time with your spouse if you're married, or partner, and also with your other children. So one of the advices of the doctor who diagnosed Lucas early on was to spend time with me and Spencer, my other son, and spend time with me and just Lucas, and spend time with me and just my husband, or spend time with me, my husband, and Spencer, and not to focus on doing everything as a family unit. I know this is kind of, sad in a way, but if you all have to stay home and not experience going to sporting events or going to musicals or whatever, it can get even more stressful. So as much as possible, if you can arrange that, that would be great. I also think, as a registered nurse and a behavior analyst, that ruling out medical issues is really important. And this is an ongoing process. And while it seems stressful to go to appointments or to look into medical issues, I have found that digging in and finding out some of the medical problems that Lucas was experiencing actually reduced his problem behavior and caused me less stress in the long run. You want to look into medical reasons for the problem behaviors, especially if there's a sudden worsening or change in behavior. I also think counseling is a great idea. In chapter 12 of my book, I talk about how my husband and I got counseling shortly after the diagnosis of autism. So professional counseling, I think, is always a great idea. And taking care of yourself, as much as possible. Exercise, time with friends, even going on vacations. I think early on I got so involved with going to autism conferences to learn more, partially because I could get a hotel room and sleep in my own bed through the night without interruption. And I could also learn. Those are just some general tips. I think the most important advice that I have for autism moms is to learn all you can about ABA, since learning how to apply this proven science almost always will lead to improved language and a reduction in problem behaviors, and you'll see progress. With over 2 decades in the autism world, first as an overwhelmed and confused and stressed out autism mom, then as a behavior analyst, author, and online course creator, I feel like the more you can become the captain of the ship, learn how to improve language, how to decrease problem behaviors across all settings, teach self-care skills and independent leisure activities, the less stress you will feel in the long run. Wherever you're watching this, I would love it if you would leave me a comment, give me a thumbs up, and share this video with others who might benefit. And for more information on my approach for turning autism around, attend a free online workshop at marybarbera.com/workshops. And I'll see you right here next week.